Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler beer series V's I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie, I am so full of ramen right now. But we'll get into that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside the truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, why wear super cool shirts? I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today, folks? Well, I've worn this one before. Boom! It's my Non-Point shirt. Woo! Non-Point. Which, if you are unfamiliar with the band Non-Point, they have been around for a while now. I believe they got started in the late 90s, kind of on the sort of the close to the tail end of the nu metal era. You know, they kind of, they were in it. They were in it. And the nu metal stuff, it held out for a bit. I'll be entirely honest though, like I only very vaguely aware of them at the time. Like I think I knew one of their songs, and I don't think that I knew that it was by them. And it wasn't until 2023 when they ended up going on tour with, it was Cold Chamber, Mudvayne, and, I just ended up really liking their stuff, and, I got the opportunity a little while later. They did a headlining tour with Head PE, and I was just super down. So much so that not only do I have a shirt, but I've also gone over there, got some videos of their performances that I've personally been to go see. So if you want to go check those out, those videos are also on the channel. But anyway, what am I trying for today, folks? Why am I super full of ramen? Well, I just went out, got myself some lunch, one of my favorite spots, all of Illinois, called Ramen Masoya. Sadly, I am not reviewing some ramen from Ramen Masoya because I don't know how to, ramen is such a beautiful thing, and it's like I can't encapsulate that in a truck setting, one day I might ask them if maybe if I get my follower base up a little bit, maybe I'll be like, hey, could I maybe do a review from your thing? I don't know. But anyway, while I was there, I did go over there and get myself some soda, and I took it with me. Boom, it's soda. This is specifically from a brand called Choya. This is their Yawanai Ume, which is sparkling plum soda. Can we get a thing? Yes, so they have plum soda there, which is super cool because, of course, here in the United States, you don't really see, there's no plum Fanta. I'd like to see it personally. I think that'd be neat. But, this is kind of my go-to soda when I go to Ramen Masoya. And like I said, man, I went over there and I ordered some, and I was like, you know what, I'll do a review. So, to be fair, I already know what this is going to taste like, and I like it, but, open it up. One thing that is a little bit interesting, they still use kind of the older style openings for the tabs, whereas now here in America for the most part you get the big mouth ones. Smells good. I haven't had this in a while. Yes, please. I'm all for that. So best way I could describe it, if you've never had it, which you may or may not have, depending on what region of the world you're from, it's kind of like a tart grape soda, which might be part of the reason why I like it so much, because famously, one of my favorite flavor of Mountain Dew is Pitch Black, which originally was a sour grape soda. Eventually, they went over there and they kind of, they changed the formula a little bit, and it's not quite as good as it used to be, but it's still my favorite. But the really cool thing with this, and it does actually say it contains 10% juice, which is definitely different than American stuff. American stuff doesn't contain shit as far as natural stuff typically. But you can very vividly taste the plum. Even though it does, like I said, I compared it to, and I apologize for the lighting, by the way. It's just fucking, I specifically parked in a spot where I was like, yeah, I think the lighting's nice here. And then the sun was like, I'm going to be an asshole. I hate you, sun. But But no, like, even though I did compare it to sort of like a tart grape juice, or grape soda rather, it has like a very defined plum taste, and that's really cool. I like this stuff so much. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit tart. You get those nice kind of contrasting flavors, and then you just get this nice sort of plum flavor that goes throughout the whole thing. It's really good. And I think one of the reasons why I like it so much when I go out for ramen, and mind you, ramen Masoya, and again, man, I gotta find a way to do a review from that place. Something. I don't know. I'll figure out some shit. But one of the reasons why I think I like it so much with ramen is because it has that nice tartness to it. And it kind of, when you're over there and you're eating this like big bowl of like succulent, delicious, super flavorful ramen, it can, there's different types of ramen to be fair, but like it can be a heavy experience. Something like this, it kind of freshens things up, it's kind of, cuts through that a little bit. And I think that personally works really nicely. That's just me. But just even as a standalone drink, although I do think it tastes best. Oh, yeah, I can taste the ramen. I personally think that even just on its own, it's really good. Like, it's, it's nice, it's refreshing. It has an interesting flavor profile. And even for me, somebody who's not typically, I like tart stuff to an extent. I like lemonade and shit. But it is a little bit here or there as far as my personal preference. For something like this, man, just the way that it hits, for me, it's just, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Now, all that said, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Clearly, I'm going to get it again. Like I said, it is kind of a thing that I typically, because I could, I'm sure, go out and get some. Like, the area where Ramen Masoya is located, there's like a number of like Japanese marketplaces, and like I'm sure I could find some to like just have. It is something that I typically reserve more for when I go to Ramen Masoya, because again, I just think it pairs well, and it's like, for me, it's that whole experience. It's like part of that for me. But at the same time, like, if they started selling it, at the Speedway down by where I live, and I could buy a 6-pack of it, I absolutely would. Fanta ever wants to pick it up, I'd be perfectly down with that too. I like it a lot. If I'm recommending it to other people, that's where it does get a little bit. And again, is there any way I can make this kind of work better? Where was the... Where did I... How did I... Wait. Right there. Wow, like I really... Sure, why not? I'll just keep my hands up like this for right now. I will move my truck for my next review, I promise. But yeah, if I'm recommending it to other people, it's not going to be for everybody. Like I said, there is a distinct plum taste. If you don't like plum, you're probably not going to be into it. But I will say, even if maybe you're not a plum person, it might be worth a try, just because like it's in such a different package than from what it's like I don't typically just eat a plum just for the sake of eating a plum. But in this instance where it's nice and it's paired well with the sweetness and the refreshing aspect, I definitely think it's something that if you have the opportunity to try, you should definitely give it a shot. I think it's genuinely a very good soda. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Stupendous rest of your year. Folks, if you can go over there and have yourselves a truly ramen-filled, tastic rest of your life. Oh, it'd been months since I'd had ramen, so I was like, I'm going out for ramen today. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and bullshit, especially when you have to contend with the sun. Why are you even out It's fucking like 5 degrees. You're doing a piss poor job. Razza-frazzin'. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe there's some, like, weird flavor of soda that, you're aware of or fond of that I haven't addressed yet on the show. Because, I mean, hey, man, I'm trucking through it, but, there's a lot of stuff in the world. By all means, hit me up, be like, hey, Brandon, you gotta go over there and try jackfruit soda, because doopa-doopa-doo. And, I mean, alright, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I know a little bit about jackfruit. There's, like, some famous dish, I think it's from Jamaica, that I'd really like to try, that it's, like, some sort of, like, jackfruit and fish dish or something like that. Really like to try that, but I do have a Jamaican place kind of by me, although I don't know if they're still open or not because it's listed as temporarily closed. But man, I'd like to try that at some point. But until then, like I said, it doesn't even have to be a fruit flavor or whatever. Just let me know. Can I? But anyway, like I said, just hit me up in the comments on that stuff because I'd love to try this stuff. It's amazing the interesting. What was it? Fanta Chocada that I reviewed a couple years ago. It was maybe from Poland. I forget exactly. Which, by the way, I am going to be reviewing a Polish soda after this. Just a segue. That was like lemon and elderberry. Come on, it's pretty cool. Anyway, bye.